For those who may not recall, the woman in white is actually Rachel Blake, Kristen's mother, who was presumed dead for many years. More than 3 decades have passed since Kristen last laid eyes on her mother, whom she believed was gone for good. The shock of discovering her mother alive would have been enough on its own. But in the land of Salem, there's always more to the story. Viewers can't help but wonder, if Rachel Blake kept the biggest secret of all, her own survival, for so many years, what else has she been hiding? And why is she choosing this particular moment in time to step forward and reclaim her place in Kristen's life? A family shrouded in mystery. Longtime Days of Our Lives fans know Kristen DiMera as a complex figure whose schemes and obsessions have often caused turmoil in Salem. But to truly understand Kristen's actions, one must look to her childhood and the shadows cast by the DiMera family patriarch, Stefano. Decades ago, Stefano took Kristen and her brother, Peter, under his wing and raised them as part of his powerful family after an apparent tragedy claimed the lives of their birth parents. From that point on, Kristen and Peter were DiMeras, at least in spirit if not by blood. Yet, this adoption was far from a simple act of kindness. Over time, viewers learned that Stefano was deeply fixated on Rachel Blake, Kristen's mother. In fact, he was tied to the very plot that caused the supposed deaths of Rachel and her husband. A car bombing orchestrated by Stefano was said to have killed both parents, paving the way for him to adopt Kristen and Peter. But as soap opera fans are well aware, dead is rarely a permanent status in Salem, and Rachel's survival stands as a prime example of how no storyline is ever truly set in stone. After narrowly escaping death, Rachel eventually assumed the persona of the woman in white, a mysterious figure haunting the remote area of Armid. She appeared to be a ghost or a tormented spirit, fueling eerie rumors and unsettling the residents. Then, in another explosive twist, quite literally, Rachel and Stefano were both caught in a catastrophic blast in the mid-90s, leaving them presumed dead once again. Of course, Stefano resurfaced soon afterward, continuing his reign of manipulation and cunning in Salem. Only much later did viewers realize that Rachel, too, had escaped the explosion with her life. Through it all, Kristen remained oblivious that her mother was alive. Nature versus nurture. This revelation about Rachel Blake's survival prompts fans to revisit one of the most enduring questions in Kristen's saga. Is she the way she is because of the DiMera influence? Or were her ruthless tendencies already part of her DNA? After all, she was raised under the watchful and often malevolent eye of Stefano, who had a knack for molding his children into weapons for his own agenda. Yet, if Rachel had been living in the shadows all these years, could she share some of the same cunning traits? Some viewers might argue that Kristen's fierce ambition, willingness to deceive, and relentless pursuit of what she wants are directly inherited from Stefano, even though they are not related by blood. Others point out that we hardly know anything about Kristen's biological parents' personalities or motivations, especially Rachel's. If Rachel managed to survive not one but 2 supposed fatal incidents, perhaps she, too, possesses a certain resilience and determination that runs in the family. Stefano's obsession and motives. Even more perplexing is the nature of Stefano's obsession with Rachel Blake. Why would the infamous DiMera patriarch go to such extremes, car bombings, forced adoptions, and staged deaths, to keep control over her and her children? For a man known to obsess over power and control, perhaps Rachel was special. Some fans have speculated that Stefano's fascination might be rooted in romance, power lust, or some hidden connection that has yet to be fully revealed on screen. This line of inquiry naturally raises another provocative question. Did Stefano truly adopt Kristen and Peter out of sheer compassion for 2 orphans? Or was he enacting a plan that he had in mind for years? Was it Rachel who initially captured his attention, prompting him to adopt her children so he could someday use them to further his schemes? Or was there a deeper, more personal motivation behind it all? Was Stefano actually Kristen's father? One theory that has intrigued fans for ages is the possibility that Stefano might be Kristen's biological father. Days of Our Lives has never shied away from rewriting history or tweaking family trees to create fresh drama. While it has been stated that Kristen is not Stefano's daughter by blood, loyal viewers know that a dramatic reveal can happen at any time if it serves the storyline. Given Stefano's history of secret affairs and manipulations, is it really so far-fetched that he could be Kristen's real father? And if so, what implications would that have for her place in the DiMera dynasty? Such a twist would certainly explain the powerful bond between Stefano and Kristen, a relationship marked by loyalty and cunning. It would also cast a new light on the question of why Rachel Blake's husband is never truly mentioned. If Stefano was indeed the father, the other man's presence would fade into the background of the narrative, possibly explaining why he didn't play a significant role in Kristen and Peter's upbringing. Until the show decides to confirm or deny this theory, it remains one of the more enticing mysteries swirling around Kristen's lineage. Marriage to Tony DiMera. As if Kristen's backstory weren't tangled enough, there is the complicated matter of her marriage to Tony DiMera. Although Tony was widely assumed to be Stefano's son, it was later revealed that he was not biologically related to Stefano. Yet, for a time, Tony was recognized as a DiMera in every sense that mattered within the confines of the show. The fact that Kristen was adopted, at least officially, meant her marriage to Tony wasn't legally or biologically incestuous. Still, the layered confusion remains for longtime viewers. Tony's identity has been a point of confusion before, considering how Andre, another family member, was revealed to be Stefano's true son. For casual fans or those just returning to the show after years away, these revelations can be dizzying. But such is the norm in Salem, where identities shift, alliances change, and even the dead might not stay dead. The show's writers have never been afraid to gloss over past story points or tweak genealogies when it suits a new storyline, so anything can happen. Over time, the question of Tony's identity and his connection to Kristen has taken numerous twists, sometimes brushed aside, other times put front and center. History rewritten and retconned. One hallmark of daytime soap operas, including Days of Our Lives, is the willingness to revise past storylines. Often referred to as retcons, these rewrites allow shows to introduce new characters or create exciting situations from old narratives. For fans who have been watching faithfully since the 1980s and 1990s, it can feel like a roller coaster ride, as characters once declared irrevocably dead pop up alive and well, or as shocking family ties are reconfigured to create new drama. The DiMeras are especially prone to such reinventions, in part because of their storied history and villainous patriarch. With Rachel Blake's dramatic return, there's an opportunity for the writers to clarify or reinvent major aspects of Kristen's origin story. They might delve deeper into Rachel's reasons for staying hidden all these years, or finally unveil the true nature of her relationship with Stefano. Did she ever seek revenge for the wrongdoing she endured? Or was she merely biding her time, waiting for the right moment to come out of hiding? And what about Peter, Kristen's brother? Could Rachel's return spark new revelations that shed light on the entire Blake family's past, offering fresh details about how Peter factors into these mysteries? The future of the woman in white. Now that the woman in white has returned, one of the biggest questions hanging over Salem is how her presence will affect the balance of power among the DiMeras. Kristen has always sought both acceptance and control, her desires often clashing with those of her siblings and extended family. Will her mother's return embolden her to seek even greater control, leveraging her birthright in ways she never could before? Or might Rachel's reappearance encourage Kristen to reflect on her life, possibly leading her to reconsider old feuds and destructive tendencies? Given that Rachel has spent years in the shadows, she may possess secrets about Stefano's plans or confessions from their time together that could upend the lives of many Salem residents. If she holds tangible proof of a hidden truth, such as Kristen's actual paternity, this could reshape alliances and spark new conflicts. The ripple effects of such revelations would impact not only Kristen but also other members of the DiMera family, possibly altering inheritances, shifting power dynamics, and provoking intense rivalries that have lain dormant for years. Engaging the fans and keeping the legacy alive at its core, Days of Our Lives thrives on storytelling that spans generations. Fans who began watching in the 1960s might sit down with younger family members today to share in the drama, comparing notes on how the show has changed and stayed the same over the decades. The storyline of Kristen, her mother, and their tangled connection to Stefano is a perfect example of this intergenerational soap opera tradition, weaving past events with present plots to create a tapestry of suspense and intrigue. Each time a presumed dead character walks back into Salem, it reignites fan discussions and breathes new life into old storylines. Social media, fan forums, and community gatherings light up with theories and predictions, from those who meticulously remember every detail of the show's timeline to casual watchers who appreciate a good twist. Rachel Blake's return is no exception. Her story is poised to shake up everything viewers thought they knew about the Blakes and the DeMoras. Will she reveal long-buried truths? Will she seek revenge for Stefano's betrayal? Or did they secretly reconcile at some point in the past? Could she turn out to be an even bigger threat than anyone anticipates? Looking ahead in a town where anything can happen, from miraculous medical recoveries to outlandish possessions, no storyline is ever truly closed. Kristen's mother has already proven that death is hardly final. The question now is whether her long-awaited return will unearth secrets that cause turmoil for Kristen, Tony, Peter, and the rest of the DeMera clan. Do you believe she has one final bombshell to deliver that could upend the DeMera family once and for all? Could Stefano's true connection to Rachel Blake be a missing piece of the puzzle that changes everything? One thing is certain. In Salem, mysteries have a way of unraveling when you least expect them, and new secrets tend to pop up just when you think you've got it all figured out.